When I got out of the military, I had a hard time translating my military experience into the civilian world. I'll be honest with you, if it wasn't for my wife, I probably would have been that homeless or impoverished vet. But it can be easier with the right support. I'm Mark Casper, and I'm the Executive Director of Tech4Troops. In today's world, you have to have a computer to be able to apply for jobs. Our mission is to empower veterans in need with computers and training to get back in the workforce.
Here at Tech4Troops, we're here to push you forward to get you back to where you want to be in life. When the veterans come in, I teach them everything you could think of that's done with a computer. I want them to feel that this is a tool that's going to help them get their life back.
I went into a kind of a deep depression. Eventually, I lost my job and I was out on the street. The computer was able to connect me to the web, and I was able to start putting resumes out. And you have to have these small building blocks to get from point A to point B. I'm not worried about employment anymore.
The need is great, and we want to be able to support our veterans across the nation.
All right, welcome everyone to the Tech4Troops Cup Series, and tonight you're here in Dover, Delaware for the Goat Racing Diecast 150. I'm Rick Souza, and my co-broadcaster tonight, John DeRudra, is here with the IWM Broadcast Network. John, this should be a blast tonight.
Oh, it's going to be a fun one here at Dover, the Monster Mile, the track that a lot of people like and many people don't like, and it can be a tough one as we see some cars already having some trouble here in qualifying. Luke Bullard just spun on his qualifying lap, but it's going to be a fun race here in the Goat Racing Diecast 150. Race number 2 on the schedule. Had New Atlanta last week. Now we are here at Dover, a completely different track, and this is a track where you have to have your rhythm down packed. You have to be able to make it on the pit road, and there's a lot of different things going on in this weekend's race.
Absolutely.
So looking out right now, we have just under 2 minutes left in qualifying. And looking at the top of the board, some pretty typical suspects. You can see it coming across right there. Worrell, Peters, Lowe, Gibson up there at the top. You see Van Scoik there, 7th, Ward, and 8th. That's your current qualifying order right now. And there are some of the current times. Looking up there, Chris Worrell, Lilith Peters, looks like, I mean, they were the talk of the town last season, combining for, I believe, over 60% of the wins. So let's see if they can get it done tonight in the Goat Racing Diecast 150. 68 degrees in the air, 85-degree track temp, not too bad there. There are 36 driver spots there, so looks like we will have one car that will go home in qualifying. 125 laps.
Actually, it's
45 mile an hour.
Yeah, we got a little bit of a typo. It's 150 laps.
150 laps. Excuse me. No quick repairs, 5 sets of tires, 50% fuel in 3 green, white checkers. 50% fuel tells me should be about 48 to 50 laps. Should be. Might be a little bit on the aggressive side there. It might actually be closer to 45, but either way, expect pit stops between 45 and 55 laps, I would estimate. And of course, 3 green, white checkers at the end of this one. Looks like qualifying is just about over 30 seconds left until we get started. And Rick, this is really a driver's track.
Oh, absolutely. You've really got to get your rhythm going. You've got to beware as you come out of turns 2 and 4. That wall just seems to jump up and want to bite you. Those black marks on that safer barrier, that's not for grins, giggles, or paint. That's there because it's so easy to slam and overcook coming out of one of those turns.
Absolutely it is. And so we'll see how these drivers are able to face it out tonight. And hopefully it'll be a clean race.
Absolutely, that's what we're looking for. So as soon as we get to get some gridding up, we'll. Oh, here we go, and I think the Grand Marshal's about to make an announcement. We'll see how that goes.
Welcome to Goat Racing Diecast and the sponsor of the Warrior League Goat Racing Diecast 150 at the Monster Mile. And now for the famous words of motorsports. Hey, Gabby.
Drivers, start your engines!
All right, drivers have been told to start their engines. That means we can bring you the grid for today's race.
All righty, let's go ahead and do it. Who is going to be starting on the pole for today's Goat Racing Diecast 150? Appreciate the Grand Marshal there. And leading the field, it is going to be Chris Farrell starting on pole, with Lilith Peters starting in second, James Lowe starting in third, Stephen Gibson Jr. starting in P4 with Scotty Grove starting in 5th, Chad Jones starting 6th, Chuck Van Scoik starting 7th, Zach Ward, Ty Bostic, and Nathan Harper start 8th, 9th, and 10th.
All right, in 11th, you got Sammy Harrell. 12th is Garrett Johnston. In 13th, Luke Bullard. 14th, William Karen the second. Adrian Lucas in 15th. Rodney Repacker is in 16th. Jacob Alicia in 17th. And Mike Slagter is in 18th. I think I mispronounced his name, all of that. Wyatt Gray in 19th and Greg Stone in 20th.
In 21st, Jeremy Flanagan. 22nd, Justin Horton. Starting in 23rd, Philip Vandertwick with Maurice Burnett starting in 23rd, and Maurice Burnett in 24th. Dalton Schley there in 25th with Jeff Nini in 26th. John Ledger starting 27th. Aaron Jackson starting 28th. Christoph Hall starting in 29th. And Evan Stewart starting in 30th.
31st, Stephen Mormon in 32nd. Cody Sturgill, Peter Woodrum in 33rd. Dave Watts in 34th, Marco Berube in 35th, and Jaden Porter in 36th. We had 37 cars bring their haulers to the track. One went home. 36 slots are available for these drivers.
And alrighty, these cars are hitting the track here at Dover. It's going to be a wild one, let me tell you. Dover, Delaware it's called the Monster Mile for a reason. And let me tell you, these corners are dangerous. You have to make sure you are not carrying too much speed, because if you do, Rick, let me tell you, you're going to get very close to the wall here in this high-speed mile track. Concrete surface, high banking. It's one of the most fun tracks that you will be able to go to, watch in person, and also drive here on iRacing. So we'll see how this field launches out here. 150 laps. We anticipate the fuel run being somewhere between 45 to 55 laps. As the pace car drops down, the 06, Chris Farrell, the 01 of Luke Peters, your front two starters, and we are green flag racing from Dover, Delaware, as they dive into turn 1.
Yeah, we've seen those two side by side for many races in season 4, but now here we are, season 5, race number 2, and here they are again.
Coming out of turn 2, the field looks pretty content side by side as the 06 pulls in front of the 01, more than likely going to lead this first lap. That's another championship point to the 06's total. Looking to battle and try to win this championship over Lilith Peters. Rick, last year Lilith ran away with it at the end. She won the championship in season 4. So season 5 now, Chris is like, hey, gloves are off. I'm going to win this thing.
Yeah, I suspect that she's not going to, especially these tracks we've seen her do very well at. She is definitely looking to get her win, punch her ticket, and move on. Oh, there must be a yellow flag, I thought. Saw Steve.
Oh, there's some cars. Yep, that's Stephen Gibson, I think.
Yeah, maybe he's, I think actually he's blinking. That's what's causing that. We saw him. So from the broadcast booth, we have all these stats and doc and timing tower information. When you see a car drop down, it's one of two things. One, they've spun and the other cars are passing them, or they have a technical issue, and you'll hear us refer to it as a blink, and that's exactly what that was. He lost his network connection and wound up
he's gone,
and then he's back. So we'll see how that goes.
Yep, it happens.
Yeah, and
as of right.
Well, he's running fourth, so that's a scary thing.
It's no cautions in the back, though. Looks like we have potentially David Watts getting involved in an incident. I'm not sure.
Yes, he's a little off the pace, yeah.
I saw his name sort of drop a little bit. We'll see what happens here as we have our first caution of the whoa.
Oh, looks like a car disappeared in front of him. He probably let off the gas. And then let's go back and look at that again.
That I'm going to bring up a term that I typically don't even use here in iRacing very much, lagging. So it looked obviously like the car in front of the 54 blinked, but it looked like the one car actually lagged into him.
That's Pete Woodrum behind him.
Yep.
So just kind of watching the 54. I think that's the 13 of Evan Stewart in front of him.
I believe that is correct. So you'll see this 13 car, check up heavily. That's a massive checkup in a corner, nowhere for the 54 to go.
And then unfortunately the one just ran right into him.
Yeah, the one just ran right into him, and in full speed it looked like he almost kind of hopped into him, like he lagged, which you really rarely see here on iRacing. Lagging's not really a thing. It's really just blinking. So that brings out our first caution of the night here in the Goat Racing Diecast 150. Excited to have everybody watching along, and would love to hear from you all and where you're tuning in from. It's always fun to see where our listeners and our viewers are at. We know we have a strong presence in the Carolinas. That's where the IWM broadcast booth is located, headquarters.
All right. So just a few laps in under our belt in this. John, I know we didn't talk about this earlier, but do you have some keys for tonight's race?
Yeah, definitely. So this track is very easy to slide the tires and just completely obliterate them. So tire wear, tire conservation, number one. I want to have the tires at the end of a run. That way you can minimize the delta between fresh tires and old tires. So tire conservation for sure, number one. I think track position is going to play a big factor in tonight's race. If you see a driver, let's talk about the top 6 right now who have not changed positions. They haven't changed positions, one, for a reason, because we've only had 6 laps under green, but also because of the fact they're at the front. And if I would want to be the winner of this race, if I want to put myself in position to win, track position is going to be key. Now, that could be starting up front. That could be with a pit road call where the strategy will lend you some track position coming out of the pits. But track position number 2 and third, you have to survive. Let me tell you, this is one of the most treacherous tracks that we go to. Sometimes we see high caution counts, mainly because of the fact that it's very reactionary. You have to be on your toes the entire time. So tire conservation, you have to have track position, and also being able to survive the chaos. That is my 3 keys for tonight's race. Looks like we do have some people chiming in, though.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of supporters of Scotty Grove. Or
yeah, we saw that last week.
Joey Kennedy said Scotty Groove tonight. Yep, he's part of Team Rocket Racing. That's Chris Worrell, James Lowe, and Scotty Grove.
Looks like we got some people from Georgia, Ohio, Rockingham. Got some West Virginia in there. Cool to see. So got some South representation. You have Ohio there, and appreciate everybody for tuning in and chiming into that. Always fun to see where our listeners are and our viewers.
All right, we're about to get this race back underway. Just a couple laps under caution here. On the back stretch now. Next time by, we'll be back to green flag racing. Thank you for tuning in to the IWM Broadcast Network here on this Wednesday night. Tune in tomorrow. We will be bringing you the INRS series.
Should be from Daytona, right?
It is from Daytona. It is their Coke Zero Sugar 200.
Oh boy. All right, pace cars dip down. We are about to get the green flag racing here. Green flag in the air. It's not really a rave. There might be a concert going on somewhere. I don't know. But I know where all the people are. They're in the stands and they're watching these cars dive into turn one.
Still side by side, Lilith Peters and Chris Worrell on the backstretch. She is holding on still, nosing out in front.
Side by side, here we go. Possibly a new leader out of turn 4. The 06 is still there, but the 01 clears. New leader, 01 Peters on the top of the board, leading the Goat Racing Diecast 150.
She did that great from the high line. That's probably a little bit of foreshadowing of later tonight, I'm guessing.
Just maybe a little bit for sure, as we start to see some battles heat up all the way through the pack. And, you know, since this is the Goat Racing Diecast 150, let's shout out some of those Goat Racing drivers starting from the front to the back of the field. Your highest Goat Racing driver is Chuck Van Scoik, sitting there in P10 with the 43 of Sammy Harrell right behind him. You also, I believe, is Aiden Lucas a part of Goat Racing too, or is that Chris? And I can't remember.
I know Aaron
So
Jackson for sure. I think
Yep,
Christoph
Aaron
Hall as well, Maurice Burnett. The
Yep,
Goat
so we
Racing
got
guys and the 43 Racing are all together.
Exactly. So you have Christoph Hall there in 23rd, Aaron Jackson 24th, Maurice Burnett in 25th, Cody Sturgill in 29th.
Yeah, now they've got
Some of the names there.
They've got some discounts for folks that are looking to purchase diecast, and I don't know all the details. Do you have all those details for
Yeah,
us?
absolutely. So what I will tell you is that if you go to goatracingdiecast.com, you will be able to get 30% off all orders over 50. The codes are Goat Racing and the driver's number. So, for example, it would be, for let's say Sammy Harrell there, his number is 43. It would be Goat Racing 43. So make sure to tune in. Later, we're going to give that code away again, but it is Goat Racing and the number of the Goat Racing driver. And it looks like we have a caution out on the track. Rick, what in the world happened 16 laps into this event?
I see the nose is missing off the 40 of Jeff Nini. I think he may have gotten involved. Let's take a quick look back. Oh, yeah, the 64 got involved. Look at that one more time. So super easy to get loose. This is coming off of 4, one of those corners we talked to you about. Gets a little loose. The 26 does make it by on the high side, but it's so easy to overcorrect. And as it comes up into the 64, that's Cody Sturgill, and he gets collected. Not as bad as the damage, obviously, on that 40, but yeah, there it is. All right, a number of drivers are making their way down onto pit road. Steve Mormon, Cody Sturgill, Marco Berube, John Ledger, Pete Woodrum, all on pit road. Obviously, The 40 is trying to get back underway, but this is not a track where aero plays a factor, but you wonder just what other damage does he have under that hood.
Absolutely. That's the real question mark. That is the real question mark here.
So this is a league where you pretty much you drive what you got. There's no quick repairs. If you want to get some repairs made, you go sit in the pits and let the iRacing fairies fix you up. So if you wreck it, you own it.
You absolutely do.
And I did get a correction. I thought I was mispronouncing Mike's name. It's Mike Slogder. It does look like, yep, I remember that from last season. We mispronounced it the whole time. I need to put a little correction in so we don't make that mistake again.
Either way, 18 laps complete here at Dover. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. And let me tell you really quick, to plug Goat Racing Diecast again, got a lovely 2009 all black number 24 Jeff Gordon DuPont diecast from him just a few days ago. And let me tell you, that thing is actually one of my favorites that I've gotten. It is a clean car. It is great condition. And it's actually one of my favorites. It's an all black, like a matte black finish. So he's got everything you could ever want or dream of. And he can definitely hook you up with whatever you need there. GoRacingDiecast.com. Definitely go check Chuck out. Chuck is currently running in the 10th spot. So if you want to use his code, it's GoatRacing23 for 30% off $50 or more. Rick, do you have any diecasts?
Just a couple collectibles that I do have. Most of them were signed versions that I was able to get from golf tournaments and other types of events. Just a couple.
Very nice. Very nice.
All right. All right, looks like the 40 is, I don't think he's going to be able to continue.
I do not believe so.
Seems to be circling around off on the apron.
I do see that he got an EOL, and he is...
Okay, that would make sense.
Speeding up, so... And he's on the lead lap, from what it shows, but that could be my data lagging behind just a little bit, but either way...
Yep.
See if he's able
the
to
only
pair.
car is down lap, I think, is the 13 of Evan Stewart.
Yep,
There
I
he
believe
is,
that is
coming
correct.
back.
Yep, there's Jeff.
Picked up the tail end of the field.
Alrighty. Looks like we got everybody stacked and re-racked and ready to go here from Dover, your third restart of the evening. Here in the Geico restart zone, green flag racing back here at Dover. The outside line, not really stacked up, kind of a big gap from the 95 of Scotty Grove and 23 of Chuck Van Scoik. It looks like we're trying to have some cars that are, it's close there for 4th and 5th. That, I believe, is Stephen Gibson, Ty Bostic, Nathan Harper there, all battling for that 4th and 5th place spot.
One of Lilith Peters and Chris Warrell in the 06 have kind of gotten single file here as they work their way around the Monster Mile. A lot of moving and grooving back in the field, jumping back. You can see the this is Brown 15th place. A lot of guys working hard there too, and sometimes 3 wide through these groups.
Yeah, let me tell you, 3 wide at Dover, it's treacherous, especially if you're that outside car, because you can get pushed up into that wall. And that's one of the big things here. Coming out of turn 2, coming out of turn 4, drivers will slam the wall all day long for a lot of reasons. Aero push, not enough wheel into it, tires. There's a lot of things that can play into the factor there. as we see this hornet's nest kind of forming there. The 31 of Jacob Alicia, Garrett Johnston, Luke Bullard, all right there battling nose to tail. You see the looseness that we're talking about coming out of turn 4.
Yeah, we almost saw a major disaster there. It's so easy to get on the gas right out of that turn. You have to resist that temptation and kind of ease into that. But right now we're pretty early. They're only about halfway through this this fuel run, and with that caution playing a factor, maybe a little bit longer. But it's going to get mighty slippery out there as these tires age.
Oh, for sure. It definitely will. It definitely will, as we're looking right there at the 70 of Chad Jones, getting around the 7 of Zach Ward. That is for 7th place.
And further up, that's Nathan Harper. Nathan Harper is in the 4. He's trying to get under the 22 of Ty Bostic. That's a battle for 4th right there. A little bit of a gap now, these top 5 drivers.
Yeah, definitely a gap forming about 1.5 seconds. And that's one of the products, 014 sideways in the back. He saved it. That was close. 14 of Mike Slotker there. Oh, 81 sideways and around up at the wall with the 48 involved as well. That is the 81 of William Corinne and Philip Vandertwick.
81 is destroyed. That's William Curran. He has definitely lost a good bit of his front end and may have tail link doesn't look bad, but certainly does not look good on that right side.
All right, let's check the replay to see what happened here. Oh, maybe a little assistance.
Possibly that's the 5 of Stone behind him. If you back out of the corner, which if you get off the throttle right there, he does get a little bit of help. The 5 taps him in the left rear, and unfortunately that sends him around, trapping the 48, nowhere to go. Big hit on that 81. Is riding up on top of the 48 there. Lots of damage. Not so bad for the 48. 81, trouble.
Trouble, trouble, trouble.
We do have a number of drivers now coming down onto pit road, including your leaders, Peters, Worrell, Bostic, Gibson, Jones. About half the field is now coming in.
You have a split strategy, which this is going to be interesting. Looking at how this could play out. The reason why. So we're on lap 29. I estimate a fuel run being about 50 laps. Let's just say 45 to be conservative. I think 50 could be pushing it a little bit, but 45 laps from now is lap 75. Another 45 laps from now, or from that, would be 120. So they could make it now, on 2 more stops. Now, these drivers that have stayed out, we've had 3 cautions, so they're saving fuel for sure. They've probably saved, it depends, but they're definitely saving fuel. Let's say they pit on lap 50, pit again on 45 laps after that. You're looking at lap 95, that would be, and then another 45 after that would be 140. So maybe they're hoping and praying to potentially try to make this a 2-stop strategy, or if the cards play right, I guess it would have to be a 3-stop at that point, Rick, because if you come down on lap, 50, 95, and 140, that's 3 stops.
Yep.
So they may be trying to play the 2-stop game, which would be advantageous, but if the math works out 50-50-50, it could work out in your favor. Again, very, very difficult to do, though, if we don't have a lot of cautions after this.
I know a lot of teams do practice, and we always look towards those Goat Racing guys to come up with the strategy that they've been using to be successful here. So we'll see how that all plays out.
Well, let me tell you, very few of them went down pit road. I think 2. I mean, look at that. Chuck, Sammy, Christoph, and Cody. I guess Cody did go down pit road, so it's almost a split strategy there. 3 went down, 3 didn't. So we'll figure out. I mean, it's definitely going to be a split strategy for those Goat Racing diecast drivers. But you're right. They always have they're always one of the best at fuel mileage, fuel saving, the calculations. It's very impressive what they do.
Absolutely. All right, lap 30 is in the books. We're about to get the 1 to go here. We'll get back to racing here on lap 32. James Lowe in the 07 will be our control car. He has lane choice and has elected to stay to the inside. To his outside, the 4 of Nathan Harper. As we said earlier, those top 9 drivers did not come in on that last pit stop. So that means positions 10 on back have fresh tires and a lot of fuel.
Yep.
It also means that those tires are cold. So it will take them
Yes,
a lap
it does.
to
Well, either way, pace car caught a little smoke right there from the tires. Almost forgot to take a left. He wanted to get out there and race. But the leaders, James Lowe, Nathan Harper out there. Green flag back in the air here. Big stack up in the back, though. Looks like everybody's able to make it all right.
watching this 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th here. They're still side by side. '95 of Scotty Grove moves up into that 3rd place finish. That pins the 23 of Chuck Van Scoik to the outside there.
Oh boy, it's getting hairy up here in the front. A lot of positions being jockeyed for right now. And we're going to see what 28 lap fresher tires are going to do.
We're now single file in the front. That's Chuck Van Scoik and Sammy Harrell. Those are teammates sitting in 4th and 5th. Blake Slaughter is sitting in 6th. Aiden Lucas in 7th. Luke Bullard in 8th. Bostic in 9th. Cody Sturgill sits in 10th.
I'm keeping track of these lap times, Rick, and it looks like they're fairly even. So obviously they're all on the line, so it's hard to make up, what's going to happen. But as this run goes on,
that last time by Nathan Harper was a 23:41, and looking back on the guys who took tires, that's pretty much there. I guess you're just in line, so you can't do as well.
Exactly. Oh, car wrecked in the back. 12 and 26. Yep. And a car spinning also ahead of them. The 20, or in front of these guys. Not really sure what happened there.
So you got Aaron Jackson, Steve Mormon, both involved for sure. They're back underway. Let's just take a quick peek at that yellow flag. Let's back that up a second. So clearly the 12 is down low in that low groove. 26 is in the mid groove. 26 is coming down. You can see those seams, and the 2012 is going up. Just unfortunately, both cars looking for the same real estate.
Yep, it is. And he pushes them. I mean, all the way down the backstretch.
Yep. All right, so we are back under caution. Number of drivers now who stayed out are back in. And they're getting their pit stop done. So while that's going on, we're going to jump out and take a quick commercial break. We will be right back looking for options. You know what? We'll just go side by side at and we'll be right back.
Hello, my name is Jack Raymondson. I manage business development here at Tech4Troops, and I'm my second year with this amazing veteran nonprofit owned and operated by veterans for veterans. I served in the U.S. Marine Corps as an amphibious assault crewman from 1992 to 1996. I also served in the U.S. Coast Guard from 2002 to 2007, joining after 9/11 as an operations specialist, then serving as an instructor at Coast Guard Training Center, Yorktown. I also spent many years as a first responder volunteering as an EMT and fireman. I'm here at Tech4Troops because I believe in our mission to empower veterans and their families with the gift of computers and technology training, as well as our outreach to help curb veteran suicide while providing a safe and meaningful community where veterans are treated with respect and dignity. We are aiming for zero veteran suicide through gaming and other program opportunities. We help veterans regain a new sense of purpose and help them see they have a brighter future ahead of them. It truly is an honor and my pleasure to serve my fellow veterans and help give them a leg up. 2024 is Tech4Troops' 10th anniversary year, and I ask that you help us support our veterans and their families with a computer donation and or greatly needed financial contribution so we can help every last veteran in need. Together, you and Tech4Troops can be change makers. Thank you.
All right, welcome back to the Tech4Troops Cup Series Goat Racing Diecast 150 here at Dover. Thanks for tuning in to the IWM Broadcast Network. Again, I'm Rick Souza here with John DeRudris here in the booth. And John and I were just talking because John is going to be gone. You won't hear his commanding voice till sometime in October when he returns.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true. I will be gone for, I guess, what is that, the next 6-7 weeks? Getting married next weekend on the 31st, and we'll be MIA, out of the country, on our honeymoon for September. So
yeah, I tried to convince you to take your laptop along for the on your honeymoon, but for some reason he wasn't interested.
Yeah, it's just I don't know if it's just Italy. I don't know, but I tell you right now, it'd probably be like 3 a.m. I'm calling a race.
Fair.
As much love is spread between my fiance and I tell you, she will probably hate me for the rest of my life if that happens. So let's just say I will not be broadcasting, but I may chime in and say hello if I am awake. So
there you go. All right, we're about to get this show back on the road, so to speak. This is our fourth course caution of the night, 39. Lap 39 here will be at 40, I guess, next time by, and we'll be back underway. Your control car, Nathan Harper. Nathan Harper is in the lead. He's got the 23 of Chuck Van Scoik to the outside. Now only the top 4 are drivers who have not pitted. Harper, Van Scoik, Harrell, and Lucas.
It also is showing Christoph Hall in P10 who hasn't pitted yet. I don't know if that's accurate.
Yeah. No, that's accurate.
But here we go. Green flag back in the air here at Dover again. 40 of 150 complete. Nathan Harper, Sammy Harrell, Chuck Van Scoik, Ty Bostic. Currently your top 4.
Right now, the only car that is currently not on the track is William Corinne. He is in the pits trying to get repairs made from that accident.
Oh, major contact.
Yeah, that was in second caution. Go ahead, you're saying?
I think it was major contact with the 10 of Aiden Lucas coming out of turn 4. Slamming that outside wall. It's common here at Dover. It's treacherous, let me tell you, as we see the field start to kind of stack up right here. Here we go off of 4 again.
Precarious spot when you're 2 wide. That's 3 wide right there in mid-pack back there. Trying to look around the track, see what we see. Looking in the back, that's Steve Mormon. He's got some damage. Oh, he slams the wall. Oh, right there, the 85 goes around.
He saved it, though. He saved it. He's on the apron. He's still straight. He's good. No caution. No car spinning in the back. Caution for sure. 72 and a 12 sideways again.
72 is Jeremy Flanagan. He is pointing in
Oh,
the
the
wrong...
06 is spun. 06 spun on the front stretch.
Chris Worrell has gone around.
Now, that was way after a caution. That one, I don't know what happened.
We can go back and see. Oh, we got tapped and spun by
About the 98.
by Christoph Hall.
Now, I believe the caution was already out at that point.
That's
So-
interesting.
Yeah, I do not know. I am throwing a question mark at that one.
What's Christoph Hall? We have the ability to go back inside.
I feel like we're doing our own version of the appeal meeting this morning.
Yeah, it could be. Could be. Let's find Christoph Hall here. All right, we'll kind of go along, kind of watching that little yellow mark on his steering wheel there. He's got the 06 in his sights. He's still on the gas, still watching his RPM. Still, he did not let off until contact was made.
Not really sure what sparked that one. May have to go back and do some research and see if anything happened between those two drivers. But the 06 is around, and that is going to be. I think he's going to be able to keep his position. At least it's what it's showing now. So
Let's go back to the other incident with Flanagan. Let's back that up a little bit farther because. So you can see ahead the 12 is up there. That's Aaron Jackson. There's smoke up there. He's off the racing surface. He's down on the apron. That's where all that smoke is coming from. But I'm sorry, that's not the 12. That's the 85. The 85 spun. The 72, which is Jeremy Flanagan, he seems to he's out of the throttle. He sees that little bit of incident. The 12 runs up on him. Then the 40 comes up from behind, probably doesn't see it, and just punts him. Unfortunately, he then collects the 12. And yeah, so there's that. All right, well, there you have it.
yeah, I'm looking back at the replay. I'm trying to see if anything happened between the 98 and the 06. I don't see anything that would really raise any concern. I mean, the 06 made it 3 wide, but there was no contact made between the 98 and the 06. So, not sure what happened. I did see both their names pop up, so there was a conversation.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was good, if it was bad, what happened, but what I do know is that Chris's tires probably aren't too happy.
I'm just pinging the admin, see if they know anything. We'll see what comes up. I think you had a little message from the Justin Summer on YouTube.
Gotta check.
He said you still have time to run while you can, but no, saying congratulations.
Appreciate it, Justin.
We all know when we marry up, right, John?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, folks, this race is about to get back underway. Ty Bostic in the 22 is your control car. We are under our 5th caution of the night. Lap 47-48 at the stripe. 22 has elected to take the inside. That seemed to work at the last restart. Lilith Peters is right behind him. He's got the 97 of Stephen Gibson Jr. to his outside, and Zach Ward cracks in at the fourth position.
Green flag back in the air. Big stack up on the high
Stephen
side.
Gibson just disappeared.
Oh boy, we got some cars definitely falling through the pack now. I mean, that was a
big blink, and I think that's really complicated. I'm sure the admins will let Mr. Gibson know that he can't be blinking at the front of the pack.
that would be bad.
That is clearly bad. Yes.
Yes, very, very much so.
All right, single file, top 7 or 8 or 9 competitors right now. But further on back in the pack, if we go back looking here, a little bit of a battle right now between the 5 of Stone and the 99 of Marco Berube. They're side by side.
Oh, possibly some contact made. I mean, there's contact all over the track. Let me just tell you right now.
Jumping up here, this is Christoph Hall and Zach Ward right there.
That's a lovely Interstate Batteries Camaro scheme.
Oh, white gray.
Absolutely.
Yep, he's got the 18. I don't think he realizes that his number is 71.
Either way it happens. It happens. But out front, Ty Bostic, Lilith Peters, Stephen Gibson Jr., Christopher L. Garrett Johnson, your top 5, with Justin Horton, Jacob Alicia, James Lowe, Zach Ward, and Christoph Hall, your top 10. Should be seeing pit stops, I would say roughly, for most of these drivers, around the lap 75 to 80 mark.
Those are for drivers who pitted on lap 28, correct?
That is correct.
All right, back up front, Ty Gibbs. That's the second time I said that. Ty Bostic continues to lead. Lilith Peters. Oh, caution's out.
Yellow flag. Greg Stone, Dalton Schley. No, Chuck Van Squicken, the car upside down.
That's the 5.
Oh boy, he did a Joey Logano impersonation.
54 involved. That's David Watts, Greg Stone, Dalton Schley, Chuck Van Scoik. A lot of drivers involved. We'll try to get this replay figured out. So it looks like the 85 clips the left rear of the 5, sending him into the inside safer barrier.
Tough hit. He's going to come back up the track.
Does tack the 85. The 99 of Marco Berube does get involved.
Now, how does he get on his lid? That's the question. Oh, I think somebody runs right to the back of him and he basically uses his car as a ramp. That's my guess. Let's let this play out.
17 goes by. The 10. Oh, the 54 just absolutely pummels and just flips the 5 over. Major damage. That car has gotten toast on the front and toast on the back.
Now that's what you call a somersault. A somersault and sticking the landing. Let's see if we can go on board the 54. See what the 54 saw, Rick, because the 54 had to be coming with some pretty heavy steam to get to 5 in that position. I mean, I've never seen a car flip like that. Here is full speed, riding on board with David Watts. See from his vantage point all the way in the back.
You can see what's going on. He just, he swerved to avoid the pace car, and that toasted him. Let's go just because it was so much fun. Let's go back on board. So you watch him swerve as you can drive through the pace car here on iRacing, but you still see this car in front of you.
Yeah, you're like, what is going on?
Jeez. All right. Yep. I think the 54 is basically done for the night after that. Oh my gosh. All right. That's caution number 6 here at Dover. 57 laps in the books. 6 cautions. Don't do the math. It's ugly.
It's ugly, and I don't like looking at it because I literally see the trend forming, Rick. The trend is there. It is there. I can't get over the somersault. I mean, that car literally did a somersault. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, hopefully all drivers are okay. They're virtual cars. But let's see where this field stacks up at this caution. Ty Bostic still out front leading this race with Peters in second, Worrell in third, Gibson in fourth, Justin Horton in fifth, Garrett Johnson in sixth, Alicia, Lowe, Ward, and Gray. That is your current top 10.
All right. Thanks for tuning in to the IWM broadcast of the Tech4Troops Cup Series Goat Racing Diecast 150. We appreciate you tuning in tonight. And Justin Summer actually said what we were kind of talking about. The cautions are gonna breed more frustration. They are, and especially with drivers, they don't have quick repairs in this league. And if you get collected, you're not going to be happy. And payback's a problem.
Payback can be a problem. To keep it PG. Payback is a problem. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens as this race unfolds. But we are a little over a quarter of the way, not a quarter, a third of the way done in tonight's Goat Racing Diecast 150. Also, got to remind y'all, please check out GoatRacingDiecast.com. Chuck's got an amazing collection up there, and for 30% off your order over $50, which is very easy to spend that just because of his great collection, you can use any of the Goat Racing Diecast driver numbers at the end of the Goat Racing code. So it's Goat Racing and a driver, so it could be Goat Racing 23 for Chuck. It could be Goat Racing 12 for Aaron Jackson, Goat Racing 98 for Christoph Hall, Goat Racing 64 for Cody Sturgill, Goat Racing 43 for Sammy Harrell. Back up to the front, we have the 22, the 01 Geico Restart Zone, and we're green flag racing again here in Dover, Delaware.
We're going to get that instructions into the chat. So if you're wanting to check it out, or you can always go back to it later and look up the chat. Is it GoatRacingDiecast.com? Is that the...
Yep, GoatRacingDiecast.com. Seriously, they do have, it has a great selection over there. New, old. He has his own personal collection up there too, which is cool to see. So, all right, 61 laps complete here in the Goat Racing Diecast 150. Ty Bostic, a name that we haven't seen in Winter Circle in a hot second, Rick. Ty was very, very strong, I think, back in Season 3. Season 4 kind of fell off just a little bit, but here he is leading at Dover. Can he win his way into the championship? Right now, he's looking like a pretty fast Charger. Looks like the 01 is closing in on the 22. And Rick, at this point, let me ask you this. Knowing that cautions have been coming out, would you be aggressive, knowing that you're only going to get about a 8 to 9 lap stint per caution, or do you take a risk and let the race come to you?
I think I would gamble a bit, let the race come to me. I mean, just thinking that the top 10 drivers pitted last, top 8 drivers pitted last on lap 28. They're just kind of letting the race come to them. They're not quickly jumping to the pits. Now, that being said, a number of drivers who are definitely competitors. They pitted last on lap 36. Trying to game the pit window. But I would just let the race come to me. I'd be watching my fuel tank. I'd be feeling how my tires are going, knowing, as you said, there's a chance that every 10 laps or so, there's a chance for a caution that could come out. So I'm actually kind of thinking it may settle down a bit. I mean, a lot of these cars are good drivers. We don't see them often caught up in something. A number of drivers are in the pits getting repairs made. Greg Stone, David Watts is just coming back out. William Corinne, he's gotten back out. So pretty much, every driver who's been engaged in some type of incident, with the exception right now of Greg Stone, have gotten out and they're back on the track. That being said, they're not always as competitive. That Greg Stone just made his way, back onto pit road.
Looks like we got a pass for second place. The 06 going around the 22 of Ty Bostic. It is now the 06, the 01 show. Peters and Worrell out front here at Dover.
Isn't that how we started?
Yeah, I think it is. I think it is. All right, or Chris was out front, then Lilith was in second.
Fair.
So,
but yeah, so big movers. Let's bring up that the big gains. Justin Horton plus 18 spots.
Yeah, big gain there, and you have John Ledger, Christoph Hall up 12 along with Wyatt Gray up 12 as well. So pretty big movers in tonight's race.
Unfortunately, with every big winner, there's some big losers. Got unfortunately Chuck Van Skyke is now, he's sitting in 23rd. He's down 16 spots. Scotty Grove in 19th. He is down 14. However, those guys all pitted on lap 55. They've got their own, they're playing chess. A lot of people playing checkers, I think.
Yep, I agree. I certainly agree.
All right, lap 72 in the books. Lilith Peters continues to lead. That group has got a little bit of a gap. If I go back now to 5, this is Stephen Gibson Jr. He was the guy we saw blinking a little bit earlier. Maybe he's got that under control. With Garrett Johnston behind him, Wyatt Gray, James Lowe, Mike Slaughter is there in 9th. Nathan Harper sitting in 10th. See a lot of drivers trying to find ways to get around and pass. Just looking back through the field, that's the 4 of Harper and the 7 of James Lowe. A little bit of contact as the 4 tries to work its way around the 7. He's got the 18 underneath. That is Wyatt Gray.
This is going to be hairy. Let me tell you, old tires and a lot of cars around each other typically doesn't mix.
Yep. They're pretty much, that's really put 10 drivers in 2x2 at this stage. Contact with Mike Slaughter with the safer barrier. Big move by Gibson trying to get down around. That's the 15 out in front of Garrett Johnston. that's in front of this pack. In the way, look, Peters continues to lead. Oh, car
Oh, car
spinning. That's
spinning.
the 3. Let's look Bullard.
Oh, he's going to come back up the track. I feel like we just saw
Oh.
this.
We did, and I just saw a car go through a car. That typically doesn't exactly happen.
I wonder if the 3 was hitting the reset button.
Nope, because he's still there.
Well, I've always, if there's a lag, not a lag, but there's a little bit of a blip when you hit the reset button, which technically you can disappear. Maybe he found that and did it really quick. But that was, you just saw a car go through another car.
Yep, we did after 6 laps. All right, we're back under caution here, 7th of the night. There's a lot of damaged race cars out here. Let's see if we can...
Oh.
That's the 07, James Lowe.
The 07 just...
Yep,
Yeah.
just spins him out.
Okay. Yep, just came right up the track.
That's not the first time at that exact spot. We've seen other incidents. 10 gets a little bit of damage there.
Then he stops. Car is stopped. I bet he pressed the reset button because this 13 drives right through him. I mean, doesn't even move the car.
Nope. It's magic. It's iRacing magic.
It is. The elves are now making cars transparent. So it just they pulled it out for season 5. We have transparent cars. How cool is that?
Transparent.
We got elves. Exactly.
Okay. We are past the halfway point. We are at lap 79. Nathan Harper is your control car on this restart. Let's see what happens with the lights on our pace car. We'll be all right. We've still got another lap to go around as we go through. We're going to take a quick commercial break.
Hi, America. Mark Castro, President of Tech4Troops. I wanted to take a moment to say thank you for making 2023 such an amazing year. We completed our mission, and it feels good to have another successful year behind us. But I want to tell you, this year, 2024, is our 10th anniversary. 10 years of doing this mission, and you have been so supportive of us. So I want to take a moment to say, please continue to support us. We're going to have an event or more every month. Please stay tuned in our calendar. Please stay tuned on our social media. Join us in the celebration of our mission and what we do. And we look forward to seeing you and having your support for our mission of ending veteran homelessness through bridging the technology divide. Look forward to seeing you. Thank you so much.
All right, welcome back to the Tech4Troops Cup Series. We are here at Dover for the Goat Racing Diecast 150. We are 80 laps in. We're currently in our 7th caution of the night for an incident with the 3 of Luke Bullard and the 07 of James Lowe. And unfortunately, the 13 was also collected in that incident. Trying to see just where he is. I think he has retired. 13 has said goodnight. So has David Watt and William Corinne II, who was also involved in that earlier incident. 3 drivers coming off pit road. Aiden Lucas, Cody Sturgill, and Chuck Van Scoik are out. But except for Nathan Harper, who pitted last on lap 45, and the driver to his outside, Philip Vandertwijk, everybody else came in.
Wow.
So your front row is going to be on much older tires by 30 laps. That is a gamble.
Big gamble, absolutely. And green flag back in the air here at Dover. Inside line, very spaced out. Outside line is packed up like a pack of sardines as they go down into turn 1.
48 is slipping back. He's already down to 5th spot. Nathan Harper, Lilith Peters, 1 and 2. Oh, she slips under. Of course, she's got fresher tires. She can. Oh, car wrecking. That's the 20. The Wyatt Gray.
Oh, big wreck.
And it's up front. There's going to be others. 26 piles into the back of that car. 3 runs up high. They're splitting around him. But Steve Mormon, I think, were involved as well.
Aye.
Well, that didn't take long, and we are back under our 8th caution of the night. The damage to the 18 is substantial. Well, let's go back and see what we can see. We're watching the 18, who slips up the track. Has a little bit of contact with the other 18.
And now he's sideways in front of the 31. 31 tries to back out.
Yep. Unfortunately, that sends him into 37, which is Gibson. 14 and Mike Slaughter, and unfortunately has some pretty good contact with his left front. So the 37's around, the 18's around.
Well, it seems to me that the back stretch, or the front stretch, excuse me, is the culprit of all of our issues tonight. Multiple wrecks on the front stretch.
So you're saying
it happened.
You're saying it's the bane of our existence? Is that what you're saying?
I think so. I believe that would be. Yep, that is exactly right. Exactly right. Precisely. There, Rick.
All right. Okay. Lap 85, 8th caution of the night. We thank you for tuning in to our broadcast.
You know, it happens.
Oh, yeah.
It happens.
Yeah. Well, you've also got 36 competitors, so a lot can go wrong.
Oh, yeah. Tons can go wrong.
So Evan Stewart chimed into the YouTube chat. Evan's the driver of the 13. We saw him, I think, go through the 3 on board. He said the cars never showed back up on my screen. Not sure what that means. Maybe he got dumped. Not sure.
Possibly.
All right, so what we do know is that we'll be going back to green flag racing in a lap or 2. Nathan Harper will be our control car. Lilith Peters will be will be alongside. Then we'll see if Nathan takes the inside or the outside. That is his choice as the leader here on caution number 8. Now, just in summertime, didn't said such a narrow, fast-paced track with multiple cars with damage, varying speeds, recipe for chaos. Oh, and we have cooked that one up really good for tonight. So.
Oh yeah, that's exactly right.
Yep. A lot of cars missing their front clips, at least their nose. A lot of damage out there. For the most part, though, we do have a number of drivers who have retired. Stephen Gibson, the 97, have retired. As we just said, Evan Stewart in the 13 has retired. William Corinne in the 81 has retired, as well as David Watts. you take out those 4s, that still means we've got 32 drivers out there still competing, with 27 or so still on the lead lap.
Oh yeah, there's a ton of time and a ton of drivers that can win this race. So at this point, it's anybody's game. It's anybody's race. I still like being at the front, though. The front seems to be the place to be. Obviously, you're in a race, you want to be in the front, but
yeah, but
track position.
Yeah, and you're out of trouble. It seems that when you wind up mid-pack or towards the back, you wind up with, as one of our viewers stated, there's a lot of drivers who are back there that got some damage. You've got others who are wanting to move up pretty quickly and maybe a bit more aggressively. I want to stay out of trouble, and that seems to be near the front.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Alrighty, pace car has got down pit road just again, and we are back to green flag racing here at Dover. Flagman waving that green flag all over the place as we dive into turn 1. Bostic and Peters side by side now for second place as the field spans out as the 4 of Nathan Harper takes control.
Yep. Oh, the one decided to go around. She had a good run coming off that line. Didn't want to give it up. Little side-by-side action back there with Sammy Harrell back there for 9 and 10. Those are 2 Goat Racing drivers right there, the 98 of Christoph Hall and the 43 of Sammy Harrell. To the inside, that is James Lowe in the 07. Good racing mid-pack. That's all for 8, 9, and 10 right there with those drivers. Stepping back a little bit farther. Looking for the racing, you got the 72, that's down low, that's Jeremy Flanagan. And right there, you've got that 14, Mike Slaughter, trying to get a spot away from Scotty Grove. You can see the 14 does not have a nose, but this is Dover, not quite an issue.
Exactly.
Jumping back up front, the 06 has worked his way around. Ty Bostic has taken over that second place. And we're back to the Peters-Worrell show.
I feel like this is a broken record.
It's a familiar one for certain.
It's on repeat, Oh, 01, big slam into the wall. That is going to get the 06 to the inside. That was a very intense right side hit for Lilith Peters there. Hopefully that car can keep on going in the right direction. That's going to keep on going the right way. And that's what's so tough about this track, is that you can easily get yourself out of rhythm with one little slip up like that, and you just got to compose yourself. And as the great Ted Lasso would say, think like a goldfish. For anybody who's a Ted Lasso fan out there.
That certainly has opened up that window for the 06. He has slipped up under the 01 and has worked his way around. And new leader Chris Burrell returns to his pole position, and we are back to how we started, 1-2.
I mean, they are by far the class of the field, and it's incredible to see that, Rick, it's not like they do this once or twice or 3 times a season. They are up here every race. The skill that is possessed, really within the top 5 and the top 10, but specifically with the 01 and the 06 it's very impressive to see on a week-to-week basis, and that's what makes the battle so good. The 01 really loose right there. as we're now approaching 2/3 of the way done with tonight's Goat Racing Diecast 150 presented by the IWM Broadcast Network, showing you the Tech4Troops Cup Series. If you've liked what you've watched tonight and want to hear more of Rick and I's lovely voice, make sure to hit that subscribe button and like so you don't miss a thing. Tomorrow night we got the INRS Series, 2 races before the playoffs at the high banks of Daytona International Speedway. And Rick, that one is going to be wild. That's going to be an electric race.
Absolutely. But again, another league where they don't have a quick repair. They just bring them, and they are battling for the last couple of spots in their playoff chase, and the cut line is tight, and there's some guys who are outside that not only could they win, they can win. So it's going to be a fun race. All right, Chris Worrell continues to lead here. Lilith Peters in second. There's your top 20. Justin Horton to Ty Bostic third, Horton fourth, Johnston fifth, Jacob Licia in sixth, Zach Ward seventh, Sammy Harrell in eighth, James Lowe in ninth, and Christoph Hall is in 10th. Field beginning to stretch out a little bit. Let's see if we can. Oh yeah, field is really stretched out. This is the 40. Let's just quickly take a look at the 40. What's going on? Oh, he's on pit road. 40 is making his way onto pit road. Jeff was involved in an earlier incident or two, and he's trying to get some damage and repair work done. But now Nathan Harper is on pit road now as well. So this may be exactly as we talked about earlier, John. He's coming down here with just 47 laps to go. This could be his last stop of the night.
It very well could be.
Pretty much at the cut line.
We shall see.
Now here's the challenge. You're coming in under green flag conditions. You know you're going to go a lap down. He's got a full four tire stop. That was a 14.9 second stop. Not the fastest. Typically seen those at least a tenth or so better. But you know there's going to be a caution come back out, but he's gambling on that not happening, I guess. Because if we do go green flag the rest of the night, every driver has got to stop. I think that may have put him 2 laps down.
Yes, I think it did. That is correct.
All right, Chris Worrell continues to lead. Ty Bostic has moved the way around the 01 and is now on the back bumper, threatening to take the lead back over from the 06. And I think he's using that lap car of the 85 as a pick.
Oh, absolutely he is.
Oh, that 85 came down. Almost. Yeah, almost got involved. That's Dalton Chalet. Or Shelley. Shelley?
Schley, caution though.
Caution's out. Philip Vandertwick may have been involved. That's the 48. Looks like a single car incident. That's good for Nathan Harper. That allows him potentially, we'll see how this plays out with who chooses to come in now. But if pretty much at this point, if everybody comes in, Harper can stay out, and that'll be the last stop.
Correct.
Oh, he had some help, dude.
Oh, just a little bit. just a little bit.
Looks like the 72 may have contributed to the 48's condition. They're running now. They're coming out of 4 48 does go up a little high, contacts the wall. A little bit of net code there. A lot of it in net code. Causes the 48 to go around. All right. Well, as we suspected, the entire field has come down onto pit road. Number of drivers stayed out. Try to get some laps back. Although I don't think that Nathan Harper will get all his laps back. That may be the challenge.
I believe that is correct.
So the point we're trying to make here is that Nathan Harper did come down under green flag conditions. It caused him to lose 2 laps. Whereas if you came in under the caution, it's really just luck. If you came in under this caution, you would only make, if you stay out, you'd make up 1 lap. So. But we'll see. I think the other opportunity is that he may have been the lucky dog. That may be a possibility as well. So we'll see how this all plays out. Again, thanks for tuning in to the IWM Broadcast Network of the Tech4Troops Cup Series and tonight's Goat Racing Diecast 150 brought to you by Goat Racing Diecast. We put the instructions in the chat. If you're interested in diecast, feel free to go to goatracingdiecast.com and you can get 30% off of all orders over $50 by using the discount code of Goat Racing, all one word, and the driver number of the Goat Racing driver. And you could pick the 23, the 43, the 98, the 12, the 64, any of those numbers, and get yourself a 30% discount off of the diecast. So if you're a diecast collector, check it out. All right, we're going to wait for this field to reassemble, and we'll get a better handle on who is what and where. Right now we are still showing the 4 of Nathan Harper a lap down here on lap 111.
And Rick, this is where this race can get pretty interesting. You know, with just under 40 laps to go, you got to start making a move to the front. You got to start making your way up this way. If not, you're going to be caught in the back.
Yep. So what I show is Nathan Harper is, I think he is 1 lap down.
Yes.
And if and when a caution flies again, if he stays in that position, he will be back on the lead lap. Your control car is Chris Worrell. He's going to start from the inside line, the 22 of Ty Bostic to his outside.
All right, here we go. Green flag back out. Great start for the 06 as he leads this pack down into turn 1 again here with just 47 laps to go. Excuse me, 37 laps to go. Oh, car sideways,
Oh,
31's
31.
wrecking. Around we go, and big wreck.
Big
wreck. And they're still wrecking. And they're still.
Unfortunately, the 4 of Nathan Harper was also possibly involved, but no, he may have cleared it. He may get his lap back. Well, a lot of guys involved. Let's see if we can narrow it down. Let's find Chad Jones. See, that may have been at the beginning of this. Let's find out. No, it was that, I think it was the 31. I'm not sure if that card number matches the paint scheme. Let's try to. Yep, that's Jacob Alicia. Let's back that up just a little bit. Looks like he gets a little loose. We're watching that 31 double mint car. Yep. Definitely maybe got stomped on the gas a little bit too early. He's dirt tracking through the corner. And unfortunately, he's out of shape. Gets a little bit more out of shape by the contact with the 07. Here comes a 23. No place to go. He gets collected. The 19 of John Ledger stays low. He gets around. The 70 trying to avoid it actually gets sideways himself. Oh, I missed that one. Who is that that goes airborne?
Yeah, what in the world happened there?
Uberpacker and Burnett. Let's see from Burnett's position. That's Pete Woodrum. A lot of wreckage there. Watching the 17. The 70 goes around. 26
That
is
toeling's
in the
broken.
wall.
Look at the left front. It's not turning at all.
Oh, yeah. Yep. He's toast. Okay. A lot of guys on pit road. I could be mistaken, but I just think I just saw the one going back out. That's Pete Woodrum. I don't think that left front was turning.
No, it was not turning. No, it's still not doing what it's supposed to do, to say the least.
Oh, no, it's turning now. They must have just hammered it out. They fixed it.
Yeah, they figured it out.
Yeah, he's making good speed, 141 miles an hour. Okay, 10th caution of the night, lap 117, just 43 laps to go. Field is trying to get itself back together. Number of drivers are still on pit road. Aiden Lucas, Maurice Burnett, Jacob Alicia, who is also involved. They're trying to get back off of pit road. Number of retirees: Stephen Gibson, Evan Stewart, William Corinne, David Watts, Jaden Porter did not make tonight's event. Luke Bullard has also retired.
Unfortunate, a lot of these cars.
Yep, big competitors.
You know. Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right, 23 cars are still on the lead lap. Nathan Harper got his lap back. He is back at the end of the lead lap. Dug himself out of that little bit of a hole.
He did. So we'll see what he can do. Alrighty. Pace car is going to drop down here. Let's see what they can do on this restart. The 06 and the 22, followed by the 18 and the 01. Just above 30 laps to go, and green flag is back out here at Dover. A better restart for the outside, but still not quite enough. As the 6 clears the 22 down into turn 1, the 06 big check up there. It's going to cause a major stack up.
Almost like he blocked.
Here comes the 01 along the outside, trying to get a run, not going to have it. And the 22 is trying to hunt down the 06 as we are now 30 laps away from the end of this event.
43 of Sammy Harrell drops to the inside, trying to work his way around the 23.
Let me tell you, that 22 is fast.
Yeah, he seems to got this. He has this track figured out. Both of these drivers pitted last on lap 109, so it's not like anybody has anything better than the other. Yeah, but also right there, the 18 of Justin Horton. Lilith Peters. Even Garrett Johnson's in there in 5th. All fast.
All fast cars for sure. And caution, back out on the track, Rick. Looks like it happened somewhere mid to back of the pack. Aiden Lucas talking over the mic. Possibly something with him, the 14.
Let's go back. The telemetry doesn't have a whole lot of information. Let's see what we can see. Oh, hang on. Let's back that up. So someone was in that outside wall. So we're finding the 10 of Aiden Lucas. That's that blue car in the center. The 26 is right in front. That's Steve Mormon. I'm not sure who is to the outside. It's the 85 of Shalil.
Yep.
Chalet. Yeah, unfortunately, the 85 had nowhere to go. He had drifted up into the safer barrier, and he bounced, unfortunately, down and collected the 10.
Unfortunate.
Yep. So a number of drivers that made their way back onto pit road. The 10 of Lucas, Rodney Uberpacker, Mike Slogner, Pete Woodrum, Marco Berube. The 8 of Maurice Burnett, and the 31 of Jacob Alicia. So 25 laps to go here at Dover. Race continues to wind down.
Yes, it does. And I got to say, being up here in the front is what you need in these races when you have a lot of cautions, because, again, your tires doesn't matter as much. And, when you look at the top 10 currently right now, you have the 06 who started on pole. He's up there, obviously. Lilith Peters, she's in 3rd. She started in 2nd. With Zach Ward up 2, James Lowe -4, Sammy Harrell up 3, Chuck Van Scoik -2. The 2 biggest movers are Justin Horton and Garrett Johnson, as well as Ty Bostic. So all these guys basically battling in and within the top 10. So you got to be up there at the front unless you're Justin Horton, and you can just get your way all the way up there. So
yeah,
track position, very important here.
Yeah, don't lose sight of number 10, Christoph Hall. He's plus 19. Cody Sturgill, 19. Those are big movers, mid-pack, but still big movers overall. So our 11th caution, 25 laps to go, probably 24 once we go past the stripe this time by.
Rick, this field is definitely staying strong now. We still have almost all the cars on the lead lap. I mean, except for the retirees. So, again, anything can happen at Dover.
Absolutely. No, we've seen some good racing when we were staying green. Some great competition going on. Some side-by-side racing. All good racing.
All right, pace cars in turn 3. Where is this field going to end up at the end of this one? Let me tell you, I don't know. It's going to be crazy. That's all I know. Here we go. Pace cars down pit road. They are about to be in the Geico restart zone. And green flag back in the air at Dover. 06 with a flying restart as he dives down into turn 1.
Good opportunity for the 01 of Little Peters. Maybe try to follow his lead. The 22 of Bostic, though, hangs on to that position. Next week, John, this league is going to be at Daytona.
Oh, it's going to be a crazy race. That's all I know for sure. Crazy race, and race 3, you have cars in the back spinning, wrecking. Don't know if it's going to bring out a caution, but I believe that was a 64 of Sammy Harold.
64 of Cody Sturgill?
Yes. Excuse me, Cody Sturgill.
Yep, just looking back. Don't see. I think we all wound up being pointed in the right direction, so no caution has come out, but we are watching. That is a 64 of Cody Sturgill, who may have some damage on that 64 car. Looks to be like there's some right front damage there. All right, back up front.
See, the car's flying off the roll, just hitting them every single time. It's common here.
Side by side, that's the 07 of James Lowe. Got a mess that Dalton Chalet has crashed, but looks like he may have crashed, but he jumped immediately to the pits. It did not bring out a caution.
Wow.
It's the 23 of Chuck Van Scoik trying to move up. He is door to door. Oh, and there's contact. That's the 15. That's Garrett Johnson. They were bouncing off each other there. 15 retains the position. They're battling hard with 18 laps to go.
Yep, the battle is on. Who will bring home the victory tonight? I mean, it looks like we have these cars right there. Chuck in 9th, Garrett Johnson in 8th, all trying to make their way back up to the front of this field.
They're not that far off the pace. Jumping back up front, Chris Worrell continues to lead, but he's got his hands full with the 22 of Bostic on his tail and the 01 of Peters not far behind.
No, 18 it's a line of cars.
Yeah, 18 is just there. I mean, they've got about a 7-car, 6-car pack, but it's anybody's race.
Oh, anybody's race for sure. For sure.
So you've got this pack of 6 that's out in front, battling for position. You've got a second pack right there with about 8 or 9 drivers also trying to hunt them down with just 15 laps to go. And that's the 43 of Sammy Harrell. He's side by side with the 15 of Garrett Johnson. The 07 has made its way back up to the tail end of the lead pack. And don't look far back, Nathan Harper is now sitting in 10th after being down 2 laps and getting, spinning right there. The 43 spins the 15 around.
Oh, come back up the track. Oh boy, this is not good. We're still wrecking. What in the world?
John Ledger involved. Phil Vandertwick, Aaron Jackson, Marco Berube, a number of drivers also collected in this incident with the 15 and the 43.
That brings out our 12th caution of the night.
All right, so we saw this battle setting up a couple laps back. We were kind of tuned in to watching the 43 and the 15 as they've been battling. You can see the 15 is right there in that lower groove. He begins to drift up. 43 drifts up as well. And if I didn't know better, I'd say that 43 actually got a little loose.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
And unfortunately, being that way, he comes around. He's sideways, has contact with the 15. Looks like a racing incident. Unfortunately, fortunately for the 23, Chuck Van Scoik slides up high, gets by, leaving the 4 of Nathan Harper with a nose full of the 5. He gets out. Unfortunately, the 98 of Hall collects the 15. The 70 winds up in the wall. John Ledger taps him. Mike Slogter slips below. And yeah, the rest of the story. That 48 turns the 19 around as well. So yeah, lots of incidents here. This is our 12th caution of the night. Our drivers came down pit road. Most of those were involved in that incident. All right, we are going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be back with just 11 laps to go here at Dover.
Are you looking for a way to safely and securely dispose of your old electronic devices? Why not donate them to Tech4Troops? Tech4Troops is a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to bridging the technology gap for in-need veterans and their families. The donation process is quick and easy. Simply go to tech4troops.org and click on the donate link at the top right-hand side of the page. Scroll down to access the Give Back Box link. To create your shipping label, click Add to Cart and complete the checkout process. The shipping label is good for up to 50 pounds. You can recycle most standard shipping boxes to send in your devices. Oh, don't forget the power cords. Give new life to your old technology by responsibly recycling with Tech4Troops. Help save the environment and support a veteran.
All right, welcome back to the Tech4Troops Cup Series here on the IWM Broadcast Network. Tonight we are in Dover, Delaware for the Goat Racing Diecast 150. We are under caution here for our 12th time tonight for a spin that took out a gaggle of cars. But now with just 10 laps to go, less once we get this back underway, we'll see what, if anything, has for the 06 of Chris Worrell. He was our pole sitter, John, and he's got Ty Bosick on his tail and Lilith Peters right there chasing him down.
He does?
Yeah, got Justin Horton up there, a number of drivers trying to knock off the 06. Sorry. I'm definitely not bored with the race. It's just been a long day.
I was about to ask you, long day, Rick?
Long day, yep.
I can agree. Hey, it happens. We're busy people. Busy people. But we appreciate everybody for tuning in tonight. Hope you've enjoyed it so far. But let me tell you, with 9 to go, this race is about to get crazier. And Rick, looking at the front of this pack, your typical suspects, but maybe a Chad Jones win, maybe a Mike Slatker, maybe Zach Ward. You know, Zach Ward has come so close to winning a race here.
Yeah, he has.
It'd be great to see him get in victory lane. But here we go. Pace cars drop down, hopefully for the last time. The 06 and the 22 up front, and green flag back in the air. 22 gets a little bit of a better restart, but so does the 01 on the inside. Who is going to be able to make it down to the turn 1 first? It looks like the 06 is going to take that line away, which is going to give the bottom to the 01. Here comes the 22 battling out of the corner. Getting a little bit of the draft off that 06, trying to get around the 01, but the more that these two cars stay side by side, the further away that 06 is going to drive away into the sunset. Going to lock up a victory here in 2020.
Oh, wrecking in behind.
5. Cautions out, 23. And the front stretch, the culprit again.
23 and the 26 of Steve Mormon involved. Looks like Nathan Harper may have. Now, that alone should put fear in just about anybody's heart at this point, because you're coming out of turn 4 and you're 3 wide.
You know, only good things happen when you're 3 wide at Dover.
Yeah.
Only good things.
Centrifugal force is going to send you up, and unfortunately, the 23 becomes the meat in that sandwich and gets spun. 15 gets around, the 12 gets around, and he continues to be dragged down the front stretch by the 26. Fortunate that most other drivers were able to get around without incident, but that is definitely going to pin those drivers back to the end. That unfortunately has relegated the 23 of Chuck Van Scoik to the pits.
Well, Rick, we might have a green-white checker. Who knows?
Quite possible. Thirteenth caution of the night. With just 5 laps to go, we could go back to green with just 3 left. It's going to be close. All right. So pretty impressed with Justin Horton. Also part of that, I think also part of that Kaiju Cat Motorsports group. Up to 4th. So he and his teammate Lilith Peters will be starting side by side. But that puts the 22 to, I'm guessing, to the outside.
I would assume so.
Yeah. We've seen a number of drivers take that outside line. That seems to still work. You know, with a track like this, any of the shorter tracks, you know, it doesn't really matter, I don't think, what line you take. It's more about controlling the other line.
Correct. I think if that 22 gets a good jump off the restart, Rick, he could battle that 06 down into the corner, and you could see that it possibly could be, it could be a big battle. I mean, I think it could be something that's very, very, very interesting to watch, and that 22 car hasn't been to victory lane in a second, so we'll see what he's able to do.
Well, we saw from the beginning with Lilith Peters taking that outside line. She was just as fast. It's that higher line that it works. So I don't think taking that higher line's a bad way to go. And if you can hold on to it, you can make it happen. And we've seen Bostic do that all night long. It's really going to come down to his jump, his reaction time to the 06.
Correct. Yes, it will. Yes, it will.
Why don't we go on board? We're on board with Ty Bostic on this restart. He's in first gear.
Wow. Well, let's see how this works. He's going to try to time this restart up right. We will have 2 to go at the line. So a green, white checker, and green flag is in the air. Oh, he slips a little bit. He is sliding all the way around. Keeps it going in the right direction, though, but that's going to give the 06 the lead.
We're back
and
under caution.
A caution already.
James Lowe and the 7 of Zach Ward involved. Also Flanagan in the 72. So Flanagan was sitting in 5th. Let's let this play out here. He does not get a good jump, causing the 14 to back off a little bit. And I think he spun his tires.
He did. He's going to come right back up the track. Oh, boy.
Well,
72 got hit from behind. Everybody just stacks up.
7 plowed right into him. There's contact. Those 3 all get collected and tangled up. Looks like the majority of the field gets by. All right, so that puts us under an official green-white checker. Now this league has 3 green-white checker restarts. But let's go back to that restart one more time. Let's look from the cameras. I'm just curious to see how Ty Bostic just was. Let's take a different look. Let's pick a different camera here. We're watching the 22. That's the car to the outside there. Right about here, the cars enter the Geico restart zone. He's already slipping back a little bit behind the 06. And he just slipped tires. He just hammered it down just too much.
Yep, he did. Yep, he did.
That really bottled up the 18 behind him as well. All right. Well, as this race kind of gets back and set up to go back to green flag racing, Just want to say thank you so much for tuning in to the IWM broadcast. And if you haven't done it already, if you could subscribe to our broadcast channel, you'll get notified of future events like tomorrow night's iNASCAR event at Daytona.
Should be a fun one.
It should. Well, with the track being what it is, and with just being a green-white checker, this really is Chris Worrell's race to lose.
Yes, it is. Very much so.
He's going to get a jump at the restart just by the sheer nature of being in control of the race. And then all he has to do is hold on to that for 2 laps.
Can he do it? That's the question. You know, I mean, he's been up at the front a lot.
We're going to find out next time by. '22 cars still on the lead lap here at Dover. Green-white checker situation. Chris Worrell is your control car. Ty Bostic is right now the bridesmaid to the outside. He wants to be the bride.
Yes, he does.
I think Lilith Peters back there in third. She could be the spoiler here. Her
Could
teammate Justin Horton to the outside. He wants a taste of victory.
Yeah, you got a lot of drivers up at the front. Watch out for Chad Jones, Wyatt Gray maybe in the 71. If chaos happens on the first 2 rows, that 3rd row is going to be poised for a potential spoiler. Here we go. Green-white checker overtime finish here in the Tech4Troops Cup Series, and green flag racing is out. Outside line stacks up. We're wrecking again. The outside line's totally stacked up. They do not get a good restart.
18
That's going to give the
tagged the wall. That sucked everybody back. That puts these guys out in front.
And here comes the 01 trying to get around the 22. If that 06 hits the line and they go to the white flag, this race will be final. Here we go. 1 lap to go at the line. Caution's out. Caution, caution, caution. Right before the yellow flag, or right before the white flag flew.
Contact
what in the world happened?
With the 43, but that it was had to be before
wrecking.
that. Yeah, Maurice Burnett.
Yeah, Maurice got turned after the caution. Or someone got turned after the caution. It wasn't Maurice, it was a red car.
Yeah, he is toast.
Oh, boy.
Yep. But I definitely saw a contact with the 43. And he may be a bit hot.
I don't think he's too happy. I don't think he is too happy at all. Sammy Harrell got turned after the caution was flown. And we may have some tempers flaring.
He is driving back up. I'm not sure who he's looking for.
I don't know. Is he getting a wave? No, there's no way he's getting a wave. Uh-oh. You can see him. He stopped right there. Who is he looking for? Or is he just trying to get his spot back?
Maybe just getting back up to where his spot was.
So he was...
We can go back
Actually,
and...
It wasn't of his doing. I just looked at the replay. But yeah, go ahead. Let's look back at that wreck.
So we're watching the 43 down low. That's Sammy Harrell. The 18 up high. That is Wyatt Gray. It's got Scotty Grove in front in the 95. So the 18 does drift down a tiny little bit. The 43 comes up. That's all good.
I think
but
the 43 just...
Yeah, he pinches him. 43 kind of pinches him up, I think.
Yeah, nowhere to go.
Yep, caution flies. All right, so we were just like this close to putting a cork in it, and we would have been done. But nope, not at all.
Nope, we're going to do it again.
Gonna rack them and stack them one more time and go back around. All right, second overtime period.
Rick, let me ask you this: Would you rather be on the inside line or the outside line?
If
on this restart,
I think the inside line is the way to go at this point.
I would agree.
But it's going to be a little bit different this time because it isn't the 22. It's the 01. Lilith Peters has taken over that second position.
Ooh.
And now Chris Worrell, we're lining up just like we started. Worrell down low, Peters up high. 15th caution of the night, about to go back to green flag racing for our second attempt.
This is going to get interesting, to say the least. To say the least. As it was on the previous. But either way, here we go. Attempt number 2 at Tech4Troops Cup Series Overtime. Brought to you by Goat Racing Diecast. Right now, the 06 is there with the 01 to the outside. And we are green flag racing back here at Dover. Great start for the 06, great start for the 01, mainly because Peters doesn't have anybody to the left, to the right, or behind. So we'll see what the 01 can do. The 06 now battling out of turn 2. 06 didn't get a good corner.
Oh, they're wrecking it back.
Though. Will they make it to the line? Will they make it to the line? I'm watching. The caution has not flown yet.
Oh,
we are
good
final
move.
lap. Good move by the 01. Here we go, down to the turn 1. The 01 and the 06 side by side. The 01 is going to try to power forward.
Contact. She spins.
Oh, they save it. I think that's going to be it for the 01. Coming out of turn 3 and 4 right now, the 06 is back into victory lane. Chris Worrell wins the Goat Racing Diecast.
Oh, they're still wrecking
150.
behind.
Oh, boy. They're going to come back up the track. Peters in second, Bostic in third.
Good finish for the 22.
Pretty solid day, to say the least.
Definitely been his track for sure. All right, we're watching the 06. Get out front, out to the start-finish line, and burn up some tires here on this
Alrighty.
concrete monster mile. Or trying. That was pretty sad.
Well, Rick, I mean, he just won the race. He might be a little tired.
Maybe so. Maybe so. All right. Let's get these results posted.
All right, here we go. Your winner of tonight's Goat Racing Diecast 150, Chris Worrell with Lilith Peters in second, Ty Bostic in third. Don't miss a beat because we're going to speak with all three of those drivers at the end of this Statement here. Chad Jones at 4th, Garrett Johnson in 5th, Mike Slasker in 6th, Scotty Grove in 7th, Justin Horton finishes in P8, Sammy Harrell finishes in 9th, and Wyatt Gray finishes in the top 10.
John Ledger just outside the top 10, finishes in 11th, Christoph Hall in 12th, Marco Berube in 13th, Nathan Harper in 14th, Charles Van Scoik in 15th, Aiden Lucas in 16th, Rodney Overpacker in 17th, Steve Morman in 18th, Aaron Jackson 19th, and Zach Ward in 20th.
In 21st, you have Philip Vandertwig, James Lowe in 22nd, Pete Woodrum finishes 23rd, with Cody Sturgill and finishes in 24th, Jeremy Flanagan 25th, Dalton Schley in 26th, Maurice Burnett in 27th, Greg Stone 28th, Jacob Alicia in 29th, and rounding out your top 30, Luke Bullard.
Stephen Gibson finishes in 31st, Evan Stewart 32nd, William Curran 33rd, David Watson 34th, Jeff Nene in 35th, and Jaden Porter did not qualify for the race, finishes in 36. So that's our finish for tonight's Goat Racing Diecast 150. And we do have Ty Bostic in the waiting room. Let's bring Ty into the broadcast booth. Ty, congratulations on your P3 finish.
I appreciate it, guys. How y'all doing?
We're good, man. I tell you, it was a long night, lots of cautions, lots of opportunities, and sometimes opportunities lost.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, with the green flag runs we got, we're a lot of fun. A lot of the guys up front were battling, just giving each other little bumpers here and there, and getting runs on the top and bottom, mixing it up. It was a lot of fun with the green. But that's how it goes sometimes early in the season. People still trying to get used to each other, and cautions come out sometimes. It happens.
Well, we were watching pretty close with that. We were still under, before we went into the overtime, that opportunity you had. Looks like our guess was that you maybe had spun the tires a bit on that restart.
Yeah, I started in first, and coming off the crest of the hill, my tires just kind of bounced a little bit and spun just a tad. So Chris got off to a better jump than me, so I was able to collect it, not hit the wall, and get it back going fairly quickly, though.
A lot of side-by-side racing here, more than I actually had anticipated, and good racing at that.
Yeah, absolutely. Dover always puts up pretty good racing for the most part. It's one of my favorite tracks to run because of it. It's always pretty good time.
Well, we could tell you clearly you had a great race. You looked like you had a good handle on it. In fact, I think we mentioned a couple times, John, that we saw that this was your track. So. Yeah,
I tend to like the concrete tracks for some reason.
Well, you can take it. Any shout-outs tonight, Ty?
Yeah, shout out to y'all for putting on a good broadcast as always. Elliot for putting on the league, and everybody, all the other admins and all the racers. It's always a good time running with all these guys.
You got it. All right, well, there's Ty Bostic finishing in P3. Ty, we'll see you next week at Daytona.
Sounds good. See you then.
All right, so I don't see Lilith Peters. Let me just go back here. Well, we'll pick her up if she joins us, but let's go ahead and bring in our winner.
Alrighty.
All right, Chris Worrell, congratulations. You have won Dover in the Goat Racing Diecast 150.
Got to be honest, Rick, I don't think any of us are winners tonight, including you guys. I think we're all big old losers. This is nothing against Elliott or the league, but that was by far the worst race I think I've run in IWM. So I hope most of these guys can get their stuff together for next week, because it's fun running these tracks, but we really didn't get to race much at all.
Yeah, we were under caution for 15 laps. If you figure that's probably close to nearly half the race wound up in pacing.
Yeah, you guys as a broadcast, Tech4Troops as a sponsor, Elliott as a host and an admin to the league deserve a lot better than that. And hopefully some of these guys will practice and just slow down some. The track was slick. Everyone already knew that. You could tell in practice because nobody was getting any laps in because everybody was wrecking. But people still decided to run each other over. I mean, guys that you don't usually see were wrecking tonight too. So it was tough, but
I think when we went back and looked at it, you'll see as we dissected each of the cautions, nearly everybody had some help, and often it wound up being someone getting tagged in the left rear and being spun.
Well, that really sucks to hear that.
Yep.
If any of the guys are listening in the league and you are one of those people, you got to be more patient. We owe it to the league and the admins, you guys, the sponsors, to put on a better show, and that was not worthy of what we can do. So hopefully it gets better.
Well, next week
I'm in the playoffs, but it is what it is.
Next week we will be at Daytona. Hopefully we will get some practice time in and put on a good show.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out before I get off to my teammates, Jake, Scotty, and James. Huge shout out to Lilith and Ty, especially Ty. Super fast there. I would have loved to have seen what we could have done on the long run. It'd have been really awesome to race them, but maybe next year. But yeah, shout out to them. Congrats to their finishing, and hopefully next week will be better.
You got it. All right. There's your winner, Chris Worrell here at the Goat Racing Diecast 150. Lilith Peters takes home second. Ty Bosick takes home third. John, any parting words tonight?
Just want to say, congrats to Chris, and make sure to tune in next week as we hit the high banks of Daytona. That's going to be a wild one. And then tomorrow night, on the IWM Broadcast Network here. Make sure to tune in as we are going to be live from Daytona again. So back-to-back Daytona races tomorrow night, Thursday, and the next Wednesday. So double Daytona here on the IWM Broadcast Network. We want to thank everybody for tuning in, and going to see you next week.
Real quick, can I'd like to add, Lilith said hi. Her Discord's not working. She said hi and go buy the hot sauce. I forgot the name of it. And she also said that you guys need to do better next week. Just want to throw that up there.
Okay.
She didn't say that. I said that. Anyway,
It's all good.
All right. Good night, folks. Have a great night.